Well, we'll see if we can get anybody. I'm trying my best. Bad streaming this morning. All right, you're back. Hey, okay. All right, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. It's the best I can do under the circumstances. It looks pixelated on. Is it pixelated still? Because it looks a little bit pixelated here. Hey, Jeff. I'm trying my best to get the settings straight and everything else. Usually, like I said, I got a great signal, but I have tried 2 different signals up here. Well, I'm trying, guys. It may be just a non-suck. So my connection is just sucks today. I really hate it, guys. I really hate it. I'll just have to try another time, it looks like, because I am having nothing but difficulty. Nothing but difficulty today. I've tried 2 or 3 different ways here, and everything seems to suck. Yeah, it must be Spectrum. I may just have to reboot the whole system here. I tried to reboot all the computers and everything else, but it looks like I might have to reboot the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I know it. It's terrible. It's terrible when it's like that. And like I said, I've tried it off of I've got 2 different networks too that I'm trying it off of, and they seem to be no help either. Let me try that again. If I try to switch that, it's going to do the same thing, I'm afraid. I've rebooted. I need my IT. All right, you got an auction. Oh, okay, great. I'm glad you got a good auction score there. Yeah, Spectrum is failing me this morning, that's for sure. The sound's okay, it's just pixelated on the picture, is it? And see, I've got a high definition camera on me. I've supposedly got the high speed access, everything. And I hate it for you guys, because I try to be prepared on this every day and try to have the right sound and video and everything. I guess I should have taken it over to my Napa store. It's usually a little bit stronger. I got a stronger signal coming in over there because of all the extras I have. Over here at the shop, I didn't need quite as much, so I opted to get the just a 100 instead of the 400. So I guess I should have bumped this one up to the 400 or something, because it definitely is not. It's clearing out a little bit, it looks like now. Yeah, maybe it's the hurricane coming through. Maybe it's something. I don't know what. Hey, now it's actually clearing out on this side, looks like. Wow, I have no idea why it's causing all that. Yeah, it just cleared up on. I'm watching. I have a secondary monitor, and it cleared up on this side too. Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. I have no idea. It is what it is, like they say. No, this definitely won't be much for a rebroadcast, will it? Because it's so pixelated. Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, it must be Al Gore's problems. I hadn't thought about that. Since Al Gore it says he invented the internet, I always took that as a joke. Al Gore probably couldn't even turn on a modem. Good deal, Tech. I'm sorry about all the pixelation and everything. Hey, a tip or two. Yeah. 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 It is. You never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get on these things. That's for sure. I mean, sometimes these things work really, really good, and sometimes they're really, really bad. It just depends on the packets and everything. I know I used to own an internet business, and I know how tough it is on that end too. We used to have to reboot several times a day and everything else. I mean, it's not a simple process. I mean, it's a process where you really have to stay at it and make sure that all your channels and everything are right and that the cabling's right, because it can be a tough. Well, I'm not aligned to any party. I am registered to one, Jeff, but I don't align myself to any party. I vote how I want to vote. I know, years ago I registered as a Democrat, and I registered that way because that was the only party in this area. The Republicans had no primaries or anything, and I was kind of told by a registrar at that time. He said, if you want to have any impact at all, that's the way you'd probably want to do, because you wouldn't be able to vote for your sheriffs or anything. Nobody local everything was such strong Democrat back then. But in the last 50 years, it has flipped. North Carolina has gone pretty red. It's pretty much considered a red state, and a lot of people do that. You know, all you need to do is have a registration to be able to vote. So at this point, I've never tried. I really probably would have registered as an independent, because that's the way I vote. I independently vote the way I want to. I don't. I have no party alignment whatsoever. Don't care to. I'd rather be an independent. But the only thing about being registered as an independent is it lowers your expectations to be able to get anybody in a primary. I've never seen the Godor wrenches. I don't think. I may have seen them. They say that they're pretty good. I know that Patrick on here, when Patrick's on here, he talks about the Godor, and they use those a lot in Germany and Austria. I think they're similar to a snap-on here in the U.S., but as it stands right now, I don't think I've ever seen a Godor tool, not in this area. Yeah, I think they'll, from what I gather, that the quality is really good and all that sort of stuff. Tell you what, hold on one guy. I'm gonna let this door down. Put that down because it was actually, the sun was coming in there too much. It's kind of beating down on me in here and heating up the inside of the shop. So I thought I would. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, some of them are telling me that's like the German equivalent of snap-on. Like Tom Graves, I don't know. Now, what does he do? Comfortable man. I don't. What did he vote against, or what did he vote stupidly? I don't know. Now, I see you're a representative in that area. Well, that is stupid there. I mean, I can't see anybody voting against our military or our police force, any of that. I mean, I'm all about wanting law and order, right? I don't care for this junk of this, and it's junk. This defunding the police department makes no sense. That is we need to increase the awareness of things. We need to make change that once these people see that, if you're going to go out there and try to combat stuff with a social worker, you're going to have social workers getting killed. Is what you're going to have. It's a very, very stupid situation, I think. Well, I'll tell you what, you can get some politicians like that will just blow your mind on what they're doing. You really will. Well, it looks like my Wi-Fi and everything's straightened out a little bit. I have no idea, and I had to apologize for what it was doing a while ago, guys, because I'm at the mercy of the tech guys, I guess. If they were booting something up or changing something on the lines, it's just one of those things. You can't do anything about it. Yeah, it's just I hate to. I just hate all the anarchy that's out there. I mean, the burning of buildings and the stuff like that. I mean, I just have to voice my opinion on that. I just don't see anybody protesting burning buildings and accomplishing anything. And also, like what I don't know if y'all guys saw it. It's sort of comical, but it's not comical. There was some sort of Antifa protester that was on a ABF truck going down Interstate 75, I believe, in Florida, and they show that, and the guy's trying to beat the guy's windshield out, and the ABF truck driver is swerving all over the road. I don't know. Did you see that, Kevin? You've been a truck driver. I thought maybe you had seen it too. It was terrible. Well, in these cities and everything, if we were the wild, wild west, Chris, we probably could. But the problem is we got all this. You've got the citizenry that has been most of your urban situations. People don't have guns. Most of your urban situations that people have been taught to stay away from guns, and now you've got people coming outside bringing in arsenals, and unless I was raised on a farm. I've got my own guns. I've got my shotguns, and I live off the road. If somebody comes down my road, they're coming to see me, and they better have a reason to see me. I mean, I don't have I don't want trespassers coming on my property. So yes, I will defend myself. The problem is so many of your suburban people have no way of doing that, and that's where a lot of this comes in, and that's why they're talking about it. Look at the gun sales. Gun sales have gone out the roof. I mean, gun sales, instead of them wanting to cut or curtail gun sales have gone exactly the opposite. Yeah, that's about the best way to put it, JC. Yeah, my doors are locked for your protection, because once you cross that line, once you get into my property, then you're subject to what I'm gonna give you back. I mean, I don't give you free reign of coming onto my property and to abuse it in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, that's about the best way to look at it. I mean, we've got to be able to be prepared to protect ourselves. I mean, our First Amendment and Second Amendment rights are getting uh, pushed upon harder than I've ever seen it in my lifetime. Well, hey Herschel, how are you? Yep, we've got to. We all have to have the right to protect ourselves, and we all have to have the right to not have everything pushed upon us, and that's what we get into these days. I mean, it's a tough situation. It's tough situation. Well, JC, I hope you're going to make it. Uh-oh, you've been working on your truck all week. Yeah. Well, we work on trucks all week. Well, yeah, that's exactly right. Too many people do let their rights be stomped on them. Yeah. What kind of truck are you working on, Herschel? Yeah, it's yeah, trucks can be an issue, that's for sure. Trucks can be an issue. I mean, it's we have we've got about four out here that has to be serviced. I think that's set outside here right now. I've got that. And I've got some tire issues. My guys, I told the guy the other day, and I think I told it on here too. I got one guy that keeps running over nails right and left. And I asked him the other day, I said, by any chance, did you run over a carpenter? Because he was getting nails all in our tires, and he's doing it again. I think we got 3 nails in the tires that I don't know where he's parking or driving or going through construction or something, but you know, I've got so many nails in my tires from him, and I'm talking about new tires. He's ruining some new tires. So I don't know I don't know if he's taking a shortcut through a construction site or something, because he's definitely eating me up in tires right now. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know we our government is really tough right now, Chris. I mean, we've got to be able to get it back in order, because we got too much crap going on. We got too much people think that they can do what they want to do. Yeah, well, that the president about did that the other day, and people was all panicky, didn't they, JC? Yeah, I think there are, Walter. I think there's a lot of people that's getting very tired. And I noticed in New Jersey yesterday, these guys that own a couple of these gyms that were just boarded up by the state, they went in there and just knocked the boarding down and went in. I mean, people have got to have a job. You've got all these people with businesses. They got to be able to open it. And, they're taking all the precautions they can to keep everybody safe. And nobody's making these people go into a gym. So it's a choice that these people want. And the government decides, well, no, we don't want you opening up. We don't care if it ruins your livelihood. You're not going to open up. Yeah, I know. That's what we got. One that's close on the sidewalk. I got to check it out this afternoon. It's down in Savannah. But yeah, I told that driver, I said, I got a question. I said, are you trying to run over a carpenter, or have you run over a carpenter? Because boy, I sure do get the nails. Yeah, we are pawns, and just the main thing is just get out here and vote your conscience and everything, and what you want to do, and what we want to see happen in the next 4 years. Because at this juncture right now, it is definitely it's a strange world out there. Something, and I'm 69 years old. I have never seen the political climate be at the fervor that it is right now. it's at a boiling point that I never thought I would ever see. But it is what it is, and we have to make the best of it. And so we will see. I hope that we can get our businesses back in order. To me, that's the defining thing right now. All these people that are going to not be able to get their unemployment this week, it's going to subject a ton of people into a major hardship, because you got a lot of people, and I I kind of predicted this in some way, but when they got that money cut out, it's going to hurt. And now anybody, if they ever do start another program up, everybody needs to be cautious. Yeah, yeah, I probably do need to hang magnets on the front of the truck. I wish I could. I don't know what he's doing. In other words, he's definitely catching the. Well, hey, heavy machinery. Yeah, I'm back on here. I got everything. I got it back rolling again for a little bit there. I don't know if I don't know what Spectrum was doing, but I had a very bad signal for a little bit, and I tried my 4G signal and everything else. Nothing came through good. It's finally kind of stabilized, it looks like now, and hopefully everything will work out just fine. Yeah. Well, you should have got the first 1,200, Chris. I don't understand that. Of course, there again, I mean, you've got a lot of governments that are not. I don't know. I've seen different things, different situations. Yeah, we were talking about Ghidorah wrenches while you were off a while ago, hey, Patrick. Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't, qualify for any kind of unemployment, but there's, the people that actually lost their job and that were actually shut down because of this, I feel sorry for, because I mean, it was no, there was no doing on their own, and those are the people that do need help. I honestly believe that, because until the government lets their businesses come back uh, and reopen, the government shouldn't have an opportunity to shut you down and say you can't run this operation and then not subsidize. I mean, if the government is actually going to shut you down, they do need to subsidize. I mean, I think that's a direct correlation there that they need to do, because it wouldn't be fair to do it otherwise. Not in my opinion. I can't see it, but we'll see what happens. How is it doing in Austria? I meant to ask you, Patrick. How is the economy doing in Austria? Because I know, we think about what's going on here, but how strong is the workforce over there? How much is the unemployment over there? Because that would give you a different perspective. Is it pretty tough over there? Are there a lot of people on your unemployment situation? Or let me know. I mean, I'm curious about that. I hope everybody is working good like that. I mean, different. Our government, being a democracy, works different than others. Of course, Austria has got a similar type setup. I mean, there's not very many countries that are other than China and Russia and a few others that have a very strong hold on people like that. Yeah, and now that's in okay. And AgTech's in Canada now. In Canada, are you seeing a lot of people just laying out and not and trying to get government assistance? And Canada's got a whole different work situation too. Yeah, I mean that's what we're looking at. I mean, you look at we've got to get the worldwide economy turned around. Yeah, we can't let the government just subsidize everything. I mean, people that have been shut down legitimately, I do think that they need to be uh, the government needs to help them because if you shut somebody down and you say no, we're not going to let you work, no, we're not going to let you have this industry uh, operating, then the government needs. If you're going to make me shut down, you need to pay me. Yeah, it's going to getting back to normal, and I'll tell you what, I was talking to my wife about it last night. You're seeing uh, people adapt. You're seeing people change the mode of doing things because look at all the advertisement now for masks, for shields, for any kind of thing like that. I mean, we were impacted at the Napa store because we had my mask and gloves got bought out just like that, and we couldn't even reorder them. So you're seeing that element of the economy kind of changing, and you're seeing some of the auto tech and different. I noticed that Kodak is going to be brought in to do something on a vaccine. You're seeing people that have ways of remachining, just like during the war times, during World War II. They made all the auto manufacturers and everybody else retool for the war effort. And you're seeing a little bit of that going on right now. You're seeing people retool the way they've been doing things and say, well, there's a market here. Well, that's a good thing. If they shift markets and you have to do that, I see that helping. Yeah, I see that too, JC. I mean, people are and you better be cautious of what you've got. I know I've gone through and we've done some of the same things, and we bought a truck instead of doing a financing recently. We said let's just pay cash for that one, and we'll take the funds out because I didn't want another payment. I didn't want another uh, documented obligation because that's what you get into with when you're doing trucks like I'm doing, and you do so many that the documentation of what you owe is as detrimental as the debt itself. Yeah, yeah, I think there's a lot of people that's cautious, comfortable, man. And at this juncture right now, you know, who could afford to put any money into any opportunity growth? And the banks are going to be very cautious too. I've seen where banks are tightening up on things because they're nervous. They don't want to loan to somebody that may go out of business in 2 months because the government says we can't allow you to operate. And so yeah, you like JC said, you've always got to look at your cash flow, and the more cash you have on hand, the better it flows. I can tell you that. I mean, it's if you over obligate yourself, and like I say, that we're already seeing these dips. You're already seeing the ups and down in the economy, and you're going to see more and more of it too because different different factions of it are going to change. I mean, if you've got a guy that runs a gym and he can't open, then he's not going to be ordering those supplies that he needs. He's going to be laying off and or already shut down possibly. And just on and on and on. You don't realize all the different people that it's impacted and the businesses that it's impacted. And that's what we're getting into. I mean, it's a tough situation out there, real tough. But I hope we're able to, I've got to be an optimist. I try my best to be an optimist on everything. And I worry more for my children than I do for myself. I haven't even seen Brenda's channel yet. Is it growing pretty good? Yeah. We'll all have to go out there. What's the name of Brenda's channel, JC? So I can post it up here so people will see it off of this too. I didn't know. I heard you saying something about a channel. I've not checked it out yet, but I definitely need to support Miss Brenda. Type in her name of her channel, JC. Then that way we can, the ones that are seeing it right now can hopefully jump on there and subscribe, because Miss Brenda's an awfully nice lady. Like to help her the best I can. So if somebody knows it or if JC sees it, just type Brenda's. Hey, Ponka, glad to see you in here finally. All right, Jeff, I appreciate it. You take care. Yeah, Ponka, I hope you're enjoying your new job and everything. I don't see you as much. Okay, good. There's Brenda's channel and everything. So everybody check that out. Everybody check out Brenda's channel there at YouTube. Yeah, just check that out and sign up. And I like to be able to help, grow the community with everybody. I mean, we got a pretty good community of people that sign on to my channel that are some of the same on other channels. And I feel like we have a good community of people that like to get out here and chat at different times. And, if we can help somebody else's channel grow, I'm all for it. So, yeah. No, I don't start at 8, Ponka. I started at 9. I've started twice today. My channel, the signal was terrible. You're going to add another 20 by 60 on next year's, are you? Well, I tell you what, people that are not old enough to remember, I remember my parents talking about during World War II that they encouraged everybody to have what they call victory gardens. And, we're going to about have to do that again. Of course, we've got so many people that live in towns, they won't have a space to do a victory garden. So it's going to be different. It's going to be different. And we have, and that goes to show how many people are dependent on the modern transportation, modern ways of life, and have left behind the ways of being a survivalist on your own. I mean, there are. I was reading something there. But, and my family always had a garden too, JC. And I grew up on a farm, and I didn't know anything else. I heard somebody go by, my nose was itching. Maybe that was a sign. My grandmother used to say, somebody's coming. Your nose is itching. And I just heard, I think an Amazon truck or something just came down to the house. I had to go down there and see what came in. So you got 50 acres. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well, I live on the backside of a farm here too. I could farm if I had the time. Right now, I guess you got to weigh your productivity and everything. It's more productive for me to concentrate on my trucks and everything else like that. So I don't really concentrate on trying to do a garden. and I never was I know how to do it, but I never did like it that good either. She has 382 subs so far. Fantastic. She's getting up there. We'll get her up to 1,000 before long. Brenda's got she's got a good personality and everything, and a good camera person too. She's had experience doing JC's camera work all these years, so she definitely knows how to use the camera good. So we'll have to check her out. And like I said, anybody on here, if y'all can go to Brenda's channel, JC listed it up here. Go to Brenda's channel and sign on and see if we can help her out and grow her channel, and hopefully, help everybody concerned. Yeah, you say stay safe, AgTech. I'm glad you were able to jump in here a little bit, and we'll see you next week or out here on one of the other channels. Yeah, I'm trying to. Well, Chris, there's a reason. Brenda, unfortunately for you, Chris, Brenda's a little bit cuter than you are. She's yeah. Well, I think most people like gardening, and I like to. I don't do it, but I do like to watch it. I watch a lot of different landscaping channels and a few things like that. Yeah, everybody. Everybody needs to check out these different channels. And if you don't like them, I guess you don't subscribe to. I mean, it wouldn't be. It's not a pity party for anybody, but most times people can see some interaction with other things on the channels too. I mean, you got to think about it today, guys. This YouTube now is actually taken over for our entertainment from Hollywood and everything else. Hollyweird, as some people call it, has gone off the deep end, and people now are seeing alternatives that entertain us. I mean, I like watching JC's channel. I watch a couple of farming channels and some landscaping channels and a few things like that I think that are interesting. You stay safe, JC. See you around. Get that Kenworth back in there. Yeah. And I like to what I put on the channel is things that I like, and hopefully it's things that other people like, and I think that's what we're seeing in the evolution of YouTube. YouTube is becoming a mainstream, diversified way of entertaining everybody. I mean, if you've got a niche out there, YouTube usually has a channel to go along with it, and I think that's fantastic. I mean, to think that I can, project what I have as far as my feelings, as far as what I do, ask questions. I mean, we're on a two-way medium here that's going worldwide. I mean, where else? I mean, I really wouldn't have thought that would have been capable, even when I started the internet business. When I started in my internet business back in '95, I would have never thought that it would have gotten to this level where we can project good video out to each and every person. I mean, back then you were doing good if you got a picture up and it was a decent looking picture, because I remember when we first started doing web pages, you had to make sure not to get the picture too large as far as pixels, because if you did, it would take too long to download it, because people were on 56K and everything else. So now everybody with high-speed access, I mean, just like I was complaining earlier today of my access being corrupted in some way, I still have to think about how good it is as opposed to what it used to be 20 years ago. Uh, we have had a huge progress or learning curve and progress and everything else as far as the internet goes. So it's been great. I think that we can entertain people in this way. Hey, Dana, we're hanging pretty good in here. How about yourself? Uh, we've been up and down today because of the signal's been bad, but hopefully I've got that stabilized a little bit. Just have to get my seat situated here a little bit. Tell you what, I'm gonna reach over here and get me a cold beverage. I do have the refrigerator right beside me here. That's the good convenience of the shop. I think so too, Kevin. I think so too. I like the way you're saying that because we've had over the years we've had some that wanted to just be I'll call them pretty boys or somebody that wanted to get before the camera and a lot of them are still out there too. So they want to get excited about something that's really not that excitable. I mean, I like to look at different things, but you're not going to show me a Phillips screwdriver and excite me over a Phillips screwdriver because I've seen them all my life. Now if they come up with something inventive or whatever, I do like to discuss that, and there are ways to tweak different aspects. Yeah. Well, hey, Daycab, how are you? Glad to see you jump in here. But yeah, it's a different world out here trying to see all the evolution of everything. But yeah, I think as far as the tool community, the trucking community, and that I'm sort of involved with, and I got somebody coming up. I'm hearing cars or something I got the door open. But we got different aspects in the of what's going on, and I do like to see diversity of the tools, and I do like to see how different mechanics do things. I mean, just think about it. I mean, we're able to see shortcuts that people that know how to do it, and maybe on a regular basis. Maybe you just have it every once in a while, and you see somebody do a shortcut, and you say, "Man, I've been killing myself doing it this way. Look how easy so and so did that." And that in itself has been a great thing, and I think that's great for entertainment out here for anybody that wants to be entertained. So I think that aspect of the tool community, and like I say, I talk about my trucking business too. All these different aspects are really good for people, I think, and hopefully we can share our ideas, and I try to share what little bit I know. I have a certain amount of knowledge in the trucking business and the garage business and different things like that. So we try to share, and we don't try to be forceful of what we know. We lay it out there, and if you like what we're doing, fine. Of course, most people don't want to be criticized of what they're doing, but if somebody's got a suggestion, we take positive suggestions and everything like that. But nobody likes to see a smart aleck out here telling somebody, well, you should do this or you shouldn't do that. Your tools are no good. Your tools are terrible. You know, people people have what they can afford. Unfortunately, sometimes people buy way more than they can afford, and then they subject themselves to personal hardships by doing that. So I'm of the old school that I tried to do. Uh, hey, Joshua, you back in here? Um, I try to uh, I try to do what I possibly can do, and uh, stay within my means. That's it in a nutshell. There's too many situations, and especially, like I said, with the climate that we have out there right now, everybody needs to be very cautious. We can't, you just can't be out there willy nilly and spend everything you've got. Uh, Basically, what I'm trying to do is work as hard as we can right now. We're, uh, we are still hiring. We're still putting on people right and left, and I want to. It makes me feel good with everything that's out there right now that we're able to give people good jobs. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Patrick. Buy what you want. I have bought. It's my job to to check it out, and it's my job to see if I want it. And have I bought junk tools in the past? You better believe it. I have bought gimmick tools. I've bought junk tools. Um, I bought good tools. I try to buy the best I possibly can afford at each interval. But we're all subjected. I don't know. I think we've all had those made for TV type tools that we maybe have bought and go, wow, that's a great looking tool. Well, it looks good on the TV, but it might not work really good at all otherwise. Yeah, and that's true. Somebody like JC is a very like Kevin's talking about. JC is a great guy. Uh, Fortunately for me, I've actually JC's actually been here in my shop. He right here in this shop. JC and his wife came down and bought a tractor trailer truck from me and spent the night in the shop. They said, well, we got a new sleeper. They bought a new mattress for the truck, and they spent the night. Of course, I got a good toasty. It was in the wintertime or the early spring, and we had it real nice and toasty in here. We've got the clean burn furnace back there that we can um, uh, we can burn the old oil that we bring out of our trucks, and that's the way we do things. So it's a it was pretty neat. JC and Brenda came down. They were down here a couple of days, and they like I said, they bought a truck from me and bought a trailer from somebody else in South Carolina. My brother and I, we went down and got it, brought it back up, so JC didn't have to go all the way down there. And then he sold a truck. He actually brought a truck that he had modified for uh, another one of our buddies out here called Square Body. I don't know if some of you know him, some of you don't, but he was down in South Carolina, so he came up, got his truck from JC, and JC was able to turn around and go back to Ohio after a couple of days and made it pretty productive. I think he was able to get down, get back, got his trailer, got his truck, and was able to do everything within a budget and made money on everything, I would imagine. So you're going to start using tankers now, are you, Ponca? Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Ponca used to be in here every Sunday morning, just first one out in here. Don't see him as much. So you got away from working. You were working for the city, weren't you, Ponca? Well, hey, Philip, I just now saw you in here. I hadn't seen you in here this morning till now. I'm trying to recognize everybody I can. See all the different people. Give them all a shout out or whatever best we can. And between that and not having a good signal, but occasionally I'm trying my best, guys. I hope it hadn't been too much of a mess this morning. But we got off to a bad start with the bad signal early on, and I couldn't even. I used to use StreamYard. I couldn't even get on StreamYard good down here, and I couldn't even get on the regular YouTube channel good. So I don't know what was going on. Just a bad signal. I know when I flipped the computer on up here that it was not coming up very fast. So I was really disappointed with that. Yeah. Let me scoot back down. I got my. Yeah, you have to jump out there and do that, Kevin. Kevin, I'll be glad to help you on my end, and we'll do a live stream or something to you and I if you want to someday. If you want to, you got a good signal and we can set it up. We can do the StreamYard thing, and we'll try to help you promote your channel, because I'm all for a variety of channels out here. I mean, I'm not doing YouTube to make money. I mean, this is not my primary business. My business is my trucking business and my Napa store. YouTube to me is actually a fun thing for me in a way, because I doubt I ever really make money. I mean, I'm making a little bit through the like JC likes to call it, the pesos. It drills, but it's nothing really. So I'm monetized, but I'm not going to get rich off of it by no means. But it is what it is on that. And we all have to I guess justify what we want to do. And myself, I just want to have a good channel, and if it grows, fine. If it stays at a certain level, fine. I don't care. I mean, just so I have some work out there to do, I'll be happy with it. Yeah, we'll have to do that, Kevin. I've been on other people's channels, and I think the cross platforming of that helps everybody. I mean, I've been on CP's channel. I've been on Phil's channel. I've been on RVT's channel. Just a lot of different ones that I've had some cross communication, not cross in that way, cross channeling, I guess you might say. And I think that helps. And I like having different people on my channel too. I've had several guests. I've had, a lot that have jumped on here with this new StreamYard thing. It's a lot easier. And I think we get a different perspective, and I like doing that. Yeah, heavy wrench. Yeah, Phil. Phil had a late one last night. I had to get off Phil's channel. I was getting tired, knowing that I had to get up about 5 or 6 this morning to start dispatching and getting things lined up. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to stay on Phil's channel all night. I think him and Everyday Fleet Tech were on there late. I kind of flipped back and looked at it, and Phil hadn't jumped in here this morning, so he must have stayed up pretty late with it. Yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah, and I've had Josh on. Yeah, Joshua was still in here. Yeah, I had Joshua on here, and yeah, Joshua will jump on some live streams for everybody. Joshua's been on with me twice, I think, isn't it, Josh? I've had Josh on here twice, and of course I couldn't get anybody on. I was doing good to get me on today, much less have somebody else on here with me. I was doing good just to get this one channel going for some reason or another. Yeah, I think I think a lot of people have enjoyed seeing Josh out here. Hey, Blake, glad to see you jump in here this morning. How's that new truck doing, Blake? Blake got him a new dump truck about, I guess you've had it, what, about a month, 5 or 6 weeks, something like that? He's been expanding his business. Yeah, I hope it's Blake. Blake probably. Have you still got to use those screwdrivers? Yeah, Blake got a new dump truck. Was it a Peterbilt? I believe it was a Peterbilt, wasn't it? I can't remember. Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great. Don't let it work you too hard, Blake. Okay, you got a 2021 567. Okay. Quad axle too, isn't it? Well, that sounds good, Kevin. Well, I got a set of those I keep with me too. I like those screwdrivers. Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, when you're in the trucking business, it's not a situation of if they will break. It's when they will break. I mean, you just got to be prepared, and it's a 24/7 preventative maintenance program that you're on when you own trucks. Now, they do break down at different levels, you might say. I mean, newer trucks don't have the tendency to break down as often, but there's still going to be issues with brand new equipment that you'll have to deal with. So, once you get over the hump, and I've had it, I've dealt with it all along with brand new trucks, used trucks, real old used trucks. I mean, there's a pain level that you're going to give yourself, you might say. Yeah, even the new stuff is built by humans. It does have things that have been overlooked. It has things that you're going to have to address. So you're not going to have a free ride, that's for sure, just because of the fact that you've got a brand new piece of equipment. Now, will it cut down on the amount of maintenance? Yes, it will. For us on road tractors, the first 18 months is probably the sweet spot. After 18 months, then you start seeing things tearing up more, and it'll take its toll from there on out, and you just got to stay on top of it. Wow, you've got kingpins they're replacing after a month? Yeah, something was wrong there. That's for sure. If the kingpins were already, well, I guess they weren't wore out. They had to be put on wrong, I would say. Yeah, yeah, Patrick, it sounds like your dad's like me and like my dad too. Uh, as sure as the world as I get rid of something that's in my arsenal of old equipment or used equipment, that's when something will break and I'll need that very part and I'll have to pay twice as much to get it back. Yeah, I'm, that's a tough situation, comfortable man. That is very tough. Getting your own authority is not uh, unless you have a lot of work lined up, unless you have a gold mine of something, it's going to work you hard getting your own authority. I mean, I've had mine. I've let mine go dormant right now because I don't need it because I'm doing all FedEx. I don't do Amazon anymore. I got an associate that has that we work off of, but I don't need the headache with that. So I've let mine go dormant because all I'm doing is FedEx. So as long as I'm doing just FedEx, that's all I'm gonna stick to. Now it's gonna be easy. If I ever need it back, it's easy to you know get it back going again. We've got everything in alignment. We have everything kosher, so we're not going to be in a situation where it will be tough to bring that back live. Not as tough as it was to start it. So they weren't. Wow. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, and when you get into trucks, and I'm telling you this from my experiences. When you have trucks that they're implementing new ways of doing things, you don't want to be the first year guinea pig. I've done that before. That's like in '08, I bought a couple of the trucks that had the regen system on it, not knowing that was going to be a nightmare. And the '08 year was probably the worst year to have gotten trucks that had the regen on them. And it's terrible. And, you know, it really put me in a financial bind. So I really cautiously go forward with these things and say, well, let me see somebody else work out the bugs before I buy a certain truck. Well, yeah, I would, Ponca, I wouldn't want my own authority unless I had a contract, and that's the only way I took. That's the only reason I started my authority, as I had a contract, and when I got the contract and everything lined up, and then I got the authority and had everything ready to rock and roll by the time everything rolled around. But just having your own authority is not the uh, it can be tough on you because you are it. You are you have to deal with everything uh, as far as the government regulations, as far as any kind of fines or anything. It's all on you. I mean, right now there's certain aspects of my job as a FedEx contractor that I'm not obligated uh, uh, for certain things. I mean, if certain things, like on the trailer, if there were something wrong with the trailer or whatever, I'm not the responsible party. If you have your own authority, you are the responsible party. So it throws a little more weight on you. I mean, even though you might be pulling somebody else's trailer, you would still be responsible for a lot more things if you are the party in question that owns the authority. So that in itself is part of the relief for me as being a contractor for FedEx because I am under their authority. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see them out on the market. I really would, Kevin. Uh, I don't know what the implications are going to be as far as fuel, because right now, and the charging stations is what's going to be tough, because you're going to have what they call a megawatt station to be able to charge the big trucks. Well, that in itself is a infrastructure that's going to be pretty expensive. I mean, I saw where I forget what company it was. They had to install that megawatt charging station, and it was going to be like a $750,000 charging station to be able to recharge those big trucks in a short period of time. I mean, you don't want to have a situation where you're going to have to wait overnight to get that thing charged. I mean, that would be fine, but think about it. You're going to have. I mean, for somebody like you, Kevin, if you're going into a situation where you're going out west or wherever, you're going to have to pinpoint exactly where you can get that truck charged. If not, you're going to be in a world of hurt. Yeah, Josh ought to be a customer service guy. That's probably what he ought to be. He's definitely got a good personality. Yeah, yeah. I'm interested in seeing where these Tesla trucks and also the Tesla and also the uh, Nikola trucks. That's the ones that are using hydrogen, I think it is. But Tesla, Tesla's pushed the envelope out there, and then you're seeing all these others now with autonomous trucks and everything too. And in my opinion on autonomous trucks, I'm going to give you that right quick. I think that'd be the first and easiest. And here's what I'm getting at. Uh, that's going to be a truck that can be hijacked easy, in my opinion. Even though it has all the technology, you look at all the anarchy we have going on out here right now. You look at all the people that are, you know, just snatch and grab. They're going to do that quickly on an autonomous truck, because if that truck has no person on it, it wouldn't take but 4 or 5 people to get together and make that truck get off the road, make it disable itself because of a crowded situation, and they could wipe it out in minutes. I would think they're going to. Well, there's my son on here. Hey, son. So I think that situations like that are going to be really, really different out there. I think it's going to it's going to be a different world out there when they put those autonomous trucks out there and try to increase the amount. I mean, first off, the expense is tremendous. I mean, you're more than doubling the cost of the initial investment. And then that these people that are monitoring this and everything also are going to want to get a piece of the pie, and they're going to charge you to do that. And it's something. Have you seen a Pakistani truck? Oh, no, I haven't. I haven't seen that channel. I don't know anything about it. I don't know a thing about that. But uh, getting back to hey, Renegade, how are you? Glad to see you jump in here. Like I said, the people that are monitoring these autonomous trucks and everything, and it's got. I like seeing the progress of that and everything. I don't want to see it take people's jobs away, but I do like seeing some of the technology being implemented. I mean, we are actually in the mode with FedEx that I have to have all these radar systems on the truck, and which I don't dislike them that much. They're actually beneficial, so I don't dislike it. I initially was hesitant, and I was hesitant in the fact of all the investment that I'm having to do with it, and that's going to continue on over the years. But as we progress and as our traffic patterns change, as everything changes in the world, and the distribution of equipment and materials, where things are going, you're going to have to stay on top of it. You can't sit back and drive a truck the way my dad did back in the 50s and 60s and 70s. I mean, that those days are pretty well gone. So we're gonna be decades, like Comfortable Man said. I think we'll be decades away before we do things. That's just like people talk about putting people out of jobs. Well, yeah, turn of the century when cars came about, it started putting the people that sold horse and buggies went out of business because people didn't want horse and buggies as much. The people that manufactured whips, a lot of people used to manufacture whips. That went out of business or cut down. Now they're doing it for other things. So I don't want to get into that. But the human element, I think, is always going to be involved with all kinds of different manufacturing. I mean, think about it. Think about 30 years ago, machinist. Everybody was talking about these CNC machines coming in and putting the machinists out of work. Well, it hasn't put the machinist out of work. You just have to get that machinist and have him change his way of thinking and doing it. And instead of doing it manually, he's doing it with a computer assisted situation. But even that being said, the skills learned of a old time machinist are still very well admired, and people would love to be able to retain that too. And it's if you don't have that particular knowledge, just being able to set up a CNC machine to maybe do one or two jobs is not going to make you that smart of a man. Yeah, and I've been on one of those planes before. I think they started with the 767 Ponca, whereas it could take off and whereas my son is on. I don't know if he's still on here or not. Uh, I was I was on a plane ride out to Salt Lake City with a pilot, and he was explaining some of these things. And then on another trip that we had, I was explaining it to another person I thought that didn't know the situation about that. And he said, yes, sir, I understand. I'm a pilot. And I go, oh, okay, I guess I better quit bragging about what I knew about the plane. But my son he will remember that incident probably. I thought it was sort of humorous. I mean, I had gotten enough knowledge about the situation to be dangerous, as they say. But you never know. Yeah, I think like you say that even those Kevin on the terminal to terminal, and I do a lot of that. I'll do a lot of terminal to terminal uh, runs. Even those are going to be subjected to a lot of different situations, and you're going to have to. It's going to be different because you're going to have to basically, uh, in my opinion, almost babysit these guys to get out, or these trucks to get out on the major thoroughfare, and then make it go. Yeah, what they're showing right now looks all great and everything else, but it's not coming to impasse. And that's like, think about it, guys. 4 or 5 years ago, Bezos was pushing his drones and his drone package delivery. Well, that hasn't put the people out of business yet. As a matter of fact, it's probably gone the other way. And it's good that this technology is that good, but I really don't think that it's pushing us out of business quick, because it's going to have to be developed and be perfected. Yeah, hit the like button. I hope everybody's liking the show. I'm trying my best, and yeah, I like to help every bit of help I can get, guys. Yeah, and just like we were talking about the electric trucks and everything else, the Tesla trucks. There's a lot of things, and that's good in a way. The fact that there is going to be new infrastructure, and we're going to, I'm all for seeing progress on infrastructure. Uh, to me, I look at things at my age. They're building roads in our area, and I go, well, I live long enough to see that road completed. And I I sometimes like I guess I got small wants and things like that, and I look at paths like that, and I go, gosh, this is going to be neat when this road is from here to here, and I don't have to go this longer route. Going to go a better route. So, infrastructure in all different aspects is good. Well, thank you very much, Renegade. I try to get involved with a lot of different aspects, and I appreciate the compliment. I hope I'm not just spouting off that people are not interested in. So I try my best to get some good information out there and try to be knowledgeable as much as I can. I mean, I'm an old truck driver from way back. Been doing it a long time. I have been involved with a lot of different things in life. I don't know if my son's still on here or not. He jumped in a while ago, but of course he probably is tired of hearing Dad talk, so he probably jumped away. He's heard me talk for all of his 47 years. Yeah, yeah, and that's basically what Uh, technology can be a great thing, and if all of us look back at all the technology, I mean, in the past 25 years, if you look back when we didn't have the internet, and think how much we have progressed uh, technology wise in the past 25 years, it's been fantastic. Now, socially interchanging with that and politically interchanging with that can be a whole different thing. But that's the way life is. Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. You're going to see I-40, I-85, I-75, I-10, I-10, I-20. All of those major thoroughfares will probably have the infrastructures built up quicker than any other locations because those are the major corridors, I-95, uh, across the United States. Uh, I mean, think about it. I mean, we move a lot of traffic just on those roads, and they're always under construction. I mean, uh, I tell the joke about uh, my my wife was my wife was going to school at when they started expanding I-85. She was in college, and she was expecting our son when she was in college and everything. And they finally finished I-85, and somebody was talking about it. Said, "Oh man, they finally finished I-85 through Charlotte and everything." And it's great that construction's finished. I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." My wife was expecting my son when they started that, and they said, "Really?" I said, "How old's your son now?" And I said, "Well, he graduated from NC State last year." So that's how long it took to do that. My son graduated from college. My wife was pregnant with him when they started expanding or widening I-85 through Charlotte. And when they finished it, my son had graduated uh, NC State. So it took about 20, 25 years, 22 years, I guess, to finish it. So that's that's the commitment they have to do now. And because of all the regulations and everything, they have to do even more. When they first built the interstate system, the regulations were just, I mean, they plotted it out, go through here. They didn't worry about the waterways and the animals and everything else. It's sort of like, here we go and get out of the way, here we come. And I'm glad they did that, because if they hadn't done that years ago, if they had all the regulations that we have now with EPA and everything else, the interstate system would have never been built. Yeah, yeah. I-75 stays under construction. I-80, all these interstates stay under construction at some aspect. They're either widening certain areas of it, they're repaving it. I mean, it's a constant battle. And the somebody said one other time that the national symbol for the interstate system ought to be the orange cone. And I really believe that. Yeah. Well, and and you have to think about it, Blake. You're in the construction dump truck business, and and then we got Junkie up there that is in the paving business. That's what keeps y'all's rolling. It's just the fact that you are under the gun to help with the construction end, and it's not going anywhere, guys. It is not going anywhere. I mean, this United States will be under construction for the rest of my life and the rest of probably y'all's life too. It is going to be something for sure. Well, guys, I have about wore myself out to a frazzle, and it's getting a little bit warm up here in the shop. I don't have the AC on. Oh, that's right. I don't have AC up here except in the office. But y'all take care, and I'm going to get off of here and see y'all next week. Hopefully my signal will be better next week, and we won't have these issues. So see you around, guys. Mm.